Hey traders, Raghee here, and we're going to dive back into crude. I've been talking about crude for a very long time, and I don't like to not come back to trades that didn't go in my direction. In fact, one of the most important things that I can do from this side of the mic is go through this sort of uncomfortable but helpful to you process, helpful to me too, of talking about trades that just didn't go my way. So crude oil, while it has not completely stopped me out of my most recent trade that I entered today, it's definitely not going in my direction. So let's talk about the difference between the crude oil winners that we had been taking, through this area here, our most recent crude oil winner, and our current crude oil position, okay? And this is the daily time frame of CL, which of course is going to then affect trades in USO, OIH, XLE, XOP. Okay, so first of all, I think it's easy for us to sort of get angry at that last trade and then forget to give ourselves a little bit of credit for the trades that we did take in the right direction and we profited from. The other thing to keep in mind is, and this is where when people ask me, Rog, why do you buy the dip? Why not buy the bounce? And here is why. So when I buy a dip, and today's setup was using this area right in here for a dip buy. When I buy as the market's moving lower, whether that be the underlying futures contract or options on the futures contract or the USO as we did today, what I'm able to do is reduce my cost basis. And the proximity to my stop loss, my proximity to previous levels of support, if that's what I want to use, is narrower. So that the point of validity and your entry, that chasm, is your risk. Alternatively, we can risk a set percentage. But by waiting for the dip, you're still reducing your risk, because if the percentage of what you paid for the option is your risk, well, then the less you pay for the option, the less your risk. So that's why I like to buy the dip and not the bounce. Now, also let's remember that, why do we sell off today? Do we sell off today because we're actually releasing crude from the SPR? Are we seeing inventories grow? Are we seeing, something that would suggest there's increased supply or decreased demand? And actually none of those things actually happened. There was a lot of discussion about whether or not there would be demand as we're getting a tick up in COVID numbers. COVID increase and crude oil do have a negative or inverse correlation. Okay, one goes up, the other goes down, right? The other thing is there's been discussion again, this has happened before, of some sort of SPR. Well, that hasn't happened before. It so far hasn't happened now, so it's speculation. And the thing that we know for sure is that inventories actually tightened. In other words, we have less supply. And that was what we got from the EIA inventory release today at 10:30. So what do we know? Maybe SPR, maybe these COVID numbers are a negative impact on what would be considered to be future demand for crude. And what we know for sure is that inventories are tightening. The main thing to keep in mind amongst everything I've told you so far is right there. That line is hugely important. And the reason for that is on November 4, we went from what was a double green uptrend to a yellow. Do I want to short? No. Can we take fade buys? Well, the last time that we bought crude was a fade buy, and that was a really nice trade for us. Rung the cash register here. So to no one's surprise, I would hope at this point, if you're watching these videos, guess what I wanted to do again? I wanted to do it all over again. But this time, we really hit that level as some of this news, supposition was coming out. Tomorrow, I'll look for an inside candle. Tomorrow, I'll look for maybe a minor low. And if that percentage threshold is hit, this will finally be, out of numerous crude oil wins, finally a loss. But remember, the loss isn't, please keep this in mind, the loss isn't this. No way. The loss is what? The loss is more like that, right? Because we're buying the dip. I hope this helps. I think talking about trades that are not going in our favor is so important, because at the end of the day, the thing that's going to keep you in the game is not home runs. The thing that's going to keep you in the game is knowing how to take paper cuts, small losses. And I think it's so important to revisit markets when they're not going our way. So feel free to leave a question, leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down, but really, please leave a question. I would love to, start a discussion about how are you managing trades, right? How are you thinking about cost as it relates to risk? How are you dealing with choppy markets, right? So leave a comment, leave a question, and I'll see you in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.